It's 2021.
2021!
We had a New Year's resolution. We really want to
invest in
YouTube. We've always wanted to. For me, it's been kind of intimidating. Hard because it's like a long period of time that's just us. As opposed to like a TikTok or an Instagram.
We're going to invest this year.
But we're going to do it. We're going to get better. So if you'll bear with us for the first few videos.
Subscribe, like, and subscribe again.
Why don't you go ahead and hit that notification button down below?
Because we've got YouTube videos coming out our booty.
Okay, we're gonna cut that. We just did a Q&A on our Instagram MELLORLITE, and there was a reoccurring question. What was it on? Tell them.
How did we meet? Where did we fall in love? How did we fall in love?
What's your love story?
What's your love story, love story, love story, love story, love story? So today we bring to you our love story. So let's get into it.
To start, you gotta know where we were in life. When I met Anna, the place I was at was I had just gotten back from a 2-year service mission for my church. I had gotten home and I had found a job, but I was working all day. I didn't get off work until like 10:30 every night. And so for me, it was really hard to meet people. I wanted to, but our schedules always conflicted. They had to work in the morning, so they didn't want to hang out really late. And so that's kind of where I was at.
And for me, I was on like the complete opposite spectrum. I had just graduated as a master esthetician, and I was in what we call my frat girl stage. Even though she wasn't in college. Partying, I was working during the day, partying at night, days off, I was partying all day. Like I was just like party on us.
So if you take me, I'd be on this end of the spectrum, sitting pretty, and Anna's on the complete opposite.
We were complete opposite.
I remember asking somebody, like a friend or my brother or something, I'm like, dude, how do I meet people? Because I was already kind of socially awkward because of my mission. You know, like I wasn't flirting or going on dates when I was on my mission. So it's like, how do you even meet people? And he's like, oh, Tinder, because it had come out while I was gone on my mission. And so I was like, okay. So I like downloaded the app and I kind of got the hang of it. I had messaged a couple people, girls, and like talked to them. Like I hadn't ever met anyone in real life. Never gone on a Tinder date.
And then for me, I had Tinder forever. I was a Tinder professional. And yeah, so I met up with Tinder matches. It was just like the thing to do with me and my friends. Like, oh, on the weekends we would meet up with our Tinder matches and their friends and whatever. And so I was Tinder.
It was almost like her other part-time job was running her Tinder orchestra.
It was my best social media for sure. For sure.
So I mean, it's interesting. We haven't talked about it for a long time. But I don't know what you thought when you saw my profile. You haven't really talked about it, but I remember.
Oh yeah, I have. I was like the hot missionary. Please swipe. When he popped up on my feed, I legit thought, I was like, there's no chance he'll ever match with me.
Do you remember?
Yeah, there was one with you and Ellie Googler, and there was one of you on like a skateboard with you were like staring. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. That picture I'm so embarrassed about.
Yeah,
I wasn't on a skateboard. I was on a park bench. I had taken my niece to a park bench and I had taken a picture.
We'll leave it with you were on a skateboard.
And then I was holding a longboard in one picture.
Yeah, longboard. I know all of them. I remember them because I remember thinking you were the most attractive human on Tinder.
All right.
Hey,
alright. Hey, I'll take it.
So into it. But I thought there's no chance because my profile was me holding pizza and beer in one hand.
Making a weird face like a...
And then the rest of my pictures were me with other Tinder matches, I believe. Like I think it was ones of like selfies with my other Tinder matches.
And it wasn't just like selfies.
Reviews.
Yeah, it was reviews. That was what got me. Is that she had a picture with a boy and then like connected to it or something. There was like I went on a Tinder date with Anna Gay. It's really fun. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. And there were a couple of them, and I was like, I don't know who this girl is, because I remember it popping up and I saw the beer and pizza, and obviously I didn't drink, you know, and I just went on my mission. And so I was kind of like, that normally would just be like, we're not right for each other.
Yeah.
But I was like kind of intrigued, and then I saw the reviews and I was like, who is this? Who posts things like this? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would be a turnoff for a lot of guys, but for some reason it worked, so it probably worked with other guys. But I remember I messaged first. We both swiped right on each other. Yeah. And I messaged and said, hey, you look like a Tinder professional. You know, like I wasn't even dedicated on going on a date with her at this point. I was more like, I just want to talk to this girl and see who she is. Like, this could say so much about her and I'm not sure what it says.
And all I wrote back was I sent him my number.
It's like, you didn't even respond. All she said was her phone number. And I was like, okay, I'm playing checkers. This girl's playing chess. Like, she's got game. I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. But I'm going to message her and just see what's good. And at the time I was like, oh yeah, so I messaged and said, hey, what's up? You know, I wanted to know if you wanted to hang out or something like that. And she responded, who is this? And so I thought, oh, you know, she's been spitting game. She's obviously like really funny, you know, quick girl. So I can't just respond my name. So I thought of something quick and I was like, I'm just gonna respond, oh, it's Tinder's finest, you know? Because she sent me her number, she'll know who I am. I didn't know that she had done that with other guys too. Just sent them her number. She didn't even put the effort in, she just sent the number.
No, you were the only person that I just sent my number to.
Did you know who it was when I said I'm Tinder's finest?
I did not know who it was, but it was because I had given my number out to a couple of other people. I had narrowed it down. I was like, it's between the hot missionary or another person. And so I just was like, I don't know who it is. But I didn't want to come off as a hussy, so I just went with it. When he wrote back, Tinder's finest.
She's like, oh yeah, Tinder's
hey,
finest.
what's up?
I was waiting for your text.
Yeah, I was like, what's up? And yeah, I definitely was like, I'll like figure it out eventually.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna figure out who it is.
I wanted to go on a date with both of them either way.
Yes, exactly. I gave them both my numbers. So
I remember being like, hey, do you want to go to lunch?
yeah, you want to go to lunch? I was on my way to work, so I was like, oh, let's go to dinner. And then
I was like, okay, obviously this isn't gonna work out. I'm like, hey, so sorry, I work till 10:30 at night, so we're not gonna be able to do dinner tonight.
And then I wrote back and I said, okay, see you at 10:31.
Oh, I was like in awe. I was like, am I about to go on my first Tinder date?
So fast forward to 10:31.
I got off work and I remember putting like my coolest jacket in the car and cologne because I was like, right after work, I'm cruising over to this girl's house and I'm gonna meet her. And so I like spray with cologne and I text her. I'm like, where's the address? And she sends me the address and says, if you get lost, just text me or call me and I'll help you. And I was like, oh, I was a pizza delivery boy in high school, so I know how to find addresses pretty well. And her response was, oh, I love pizza, should we date? Oh, dude, I was cracking up. I was like, this girl is a funny, funny girl.
And yeah, on the other end, to my friends, I was like, oh, you worked at Pizza Hut! Like, I love Pizza Hut! Like, match made in heaven, done deal, put a ring on it, we're going. So I still at this point didn't know which Tinder match it was though, but I knew that we had a connection right from then. So you knock on the door. Seconds before we answer, I'm like, please be the hot missionary, please be the hot missionary, please be the hot missionary. My friend did a grand reveal, opens the door. And it was the hot missionary
in the flesh, baby.
It is love at first sight, is it not? No?
I was so excited.
And I walk in and I'm just like, hey, and Anna runs and hugs me and I'm like, oh, you're Anna, hey, it's nice to meet you. And I shake hands with the boy there and the girl and I introduce myself and I'm like, what do you guys, you know, what's going on? What are you guys doing? And they're like, we're about to take shots. And I was like, ah, shoot, you know, because I don't
what
drink.
Did I get myself into?
I was like, I just got off my mission, I don't drink, like, this is a huge turn off. I'm never hanging out with these people again.
Yeah.
We're just too different. But I didn't want to just like leave or like seem like judgmental or something, so I was like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm not gonna do it, but you guys go for it. And Anna goes, no, I've got an idea. And she takes a shot glass and fills it with water and then brings it to me.
And I'm like, you're gonna take a shot with us, a shot of water.
I feel like I'm the kid hanging out with the adults, but I was like, oh yeah, that sounds really fun, I really want to do this.
Pours it in the flame.
Yeah, we all grab our shot glasses, we cheers, I drink it back, and it was a vodka. No, just kidding.
I wouldn't do that to you.
No, it was water, but I was just like, okay, this is lame. I'm gonna be here to be polite, but they ended up being like really nice.
We ordered some pizza.
And I don't know if you know this, but I paid for the pizza.
No, I didn't know
that guy ordered it and he went to pay and I said, hey dude, I got this. And I was hoping you would see, and you didn't. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just
I didn't. So we're taking pictures. We took our very first picture that we have together.
It almost looks like you're making fun of me in that photo.
I'm not making fun of
you. It looks like it because you're like laughing in the camera and like I'm in the background. It's almost like I'm an animal or something.
I'm like, look at my Tinder man.
I know. He was like, let's watch a movie upstairs. And I'm thinking it's like an upstairs like movie room or like family room. But we walk upstairs and it's his bedroom. And it's all it's got is a big bed, a dresser, and a TV on it. And they're like, we got bed, and they jump on the bed, and then it's me and Anna, and we're like, we got floor.
We're right here, the TV's right here, the bed's right here. It was a weird setup. We're like diagonal watching this TV, like we can barely see it. We can barely hear what's going on. My friend and her Tinder date start macking it. They've been,
5 minutes into it, we hear the sweet sounds of lovemaking.
No, they were just making out. They've been dating for a couple weeks, and Rory and I just met. So it's just like me and Rory are sitting like this.
Legs crossed, just watching the movie, not touching. But then they start making out, and we look at each other, and this is how I knew we were connected. Because I look at Anna, and she looks at me, and we both mentally say, let's get the heck out of here.
We didn't say anything, but
we didn't say anything, but I was like,
or maybe you did say or something.
But then we both roll on our bellies, army crawl out.
Army crawl out.
You don't want to cause a scene.
Army crawl down the stairs, book it out of the house, run to your car like wild, crazy kids in love.
And then we're like, wait, where do we go? And I was like, oh, my favorite lake. I haven't seen it since my mission. Like, let's go there. It's so beautiful, so cool. It's like midnight at this point. And I'm like, let's go. And she's like, yeah. Okay, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I was down to ride.
And which is kind of weird because you didn't know me that well. You didn't know me at all. I could have been anyone. I could have murdered you.
I drove to California for a Tinder match one time, so.
This is petty cash. This is nothing. But I'm like taking her on these dirt roads. I'm building it up like it's Disneyland. I'm like it's gonna blow your mind because in my head
on the way
beautiful.
there, you confided in me that you were senior vaulting in high school.
I'm telling her all my past accomplishments, really trying to secure the bag. Anyway, we pull up and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get your door, close your eyes, I'm gonna walk you up to the lake, you're open it, it's gonna blow your mind. And she's like, okay. Close her eyes, I walk her up, and as we're walking, I'm like, wow, I don't remember all this mud. And then I look at the lake, and it's just filled with garbage, and it's drained.
It's drained.
And I was like, Anna, I am so sorry. And I'm like torn between just like crying for myself, because my favorite lake has been defiled, and like apologizing to Anna that I just drove her 25 minutes to an empty garbage pit.
I was kind of cold, so I was like, okay, let's get out of here.
Yeah, it's beautiful, Rory, thanks. I'm like, no, Anna, it's really nice. And they did fix it up. Now it's
great. You can go fishing there. It's a great place to go. Let's go get hot chocolates. And I said, hell yeah, let's go get some hot chocolate.
Let's get some hot chocolate. I was like, yeah, let's get some hot chocolate.
Great. So we're driving, we're on the way there. I see a guy walking on the side of the road. It's like 1 or 2 in the morning at this point. 1.
Yeah, maybe 1.
I turned to Rory, I'm like, oh, we should pick him up because he's hitchhiking. He's like, we should pick him up. It's late. He needs to ride somewhere. And Rory flipped around the car and is like, okay. And I was like, what? Because, you know, like...
I always pick up hitchhikers.
Yeah,
really? A little less now that I've got a family.
Yeah, you better not.
At the point, you could have told me that a hitchhiker, I'd pick him up.
Most people would never, you know, they just keep on driving. But Rory, no, he flipped around the car and I was just so impressed. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, cool.
I'm like, hey buddy, you need a ride? And he's like, yeah, thank you so much. And he gets in my car. I'm like, I'm Rory. What's your name? And he's like, my name's Luigi. And I was like, okay, is that name common around these parts, you know? But we're like, where are you going? He's like, oh, I'm not sure. And I was like, what, dude?
Yeah, Rory's like...
That's a red flag, you know? Someone's like, oh, I just need to go to the Walmart, or I'm going down to 600. It's easy. But when they're like, I'm not sure, I'm like, he had a phone, he's like trying to figure something out.
It all worked out some crazy way.
Yeah,
like this story is
I'm like, what happened? He's like, oh, I just got out of jail. For all I had was like a pound of weed and like a little bit of cocaine.
I was driving to New York.
With my girlfriend, we got separated. She didn't get arrested, but I got sent here. All this crazy story, but he was jailmates with this guy who got out like a week earlier than him. And the guy said, hey, you can come stay at my house when you get out.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to find his friend's house, but he doesn't know where his friend lives.
He's trying to remember, and he's like, so he lives over...
he said there's a fence. And I was like,
he said there's a chain link fence.
But what was bizarre is he knew, like, he said it was around this school and the house number was this. Somehow we found it.
Somehow we found the house.
My pizza delivery boy skills kicked into gear.
I don't know
Because I'm driving around like trying to piece all this random information he gives and I'm like, it's probably in this area of town. Granted, it's not a big city.
We pull up and he gets out of the car, we're like, bye Luigi. Oh, he borrowed my phone to call somebody, but they hadn't answered because he was going to try and figure out that way. Gives me my phone back, gets out of the car, knocks on the door, gets left in and gives us a thumbs up from the door.
And we're like, awesome.
Like, hell yeah.
We did a good deed.
Detour.
And we were just like...
Oh, and at one point he asked us how long we were married and I was like, oh, a couple years now. What is it, babe? Like 3 years?
3 years.
Little did he know we had just met that night.
Yeah, we take him home, we get Victory hot chocolate.
So at that point, my friend had texted me and she's like, hey, did you guys leave? And I was like, yeah, like 2 hours ago, but it's fine. So she's like, yeah, so my car's at your house. Can you come get me?
So we pick her up.
We picked her up a hot chocolate too.
Yeah. Bring it to her. Go back to my house.
Yeah,
just to play some games. And
Rory plays guitar. He showed off that he could play like any song on guitar.
Oh.
He made me some mate, and he posted on Instagram a picture of me drinking mate. So excited. Oh
yeah, I was like, this is an Argentine tea. It's so good. And then we played a game.
Like, hey.
We have a video of the game we played.
Yeah, so then we played Heads Up by Ellen DeGeneres.
But
and it recorded it, so we have like the whole footage of us playing that game, which is
really cool memory. But what is important is I have work at 7 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
And we ended up hanging out until about 6 in the morning.
Yeah, we at one point.
And I was like, I need to shower, or I'm gonna be late for work.
Yeah.
And so they had to leave, and I was just like. I think I told Anna, I was like, hey, this was way more fun than I thought it was going to be. Like, this was awesome. You're so fun.
Yeah.
I had a good time. And Anna was like, something like, well, why don't you call me when you get off work or something, huh?
Yeah.
Because after that...
Did you? I think you went and slept that day. Oh, it was Easter weekend, and your family was out of town, and I was trying to convince you to come spend Easter with my family. I was like, don't be alone on Easter. Like, come with my family, and you were like, hell no. No.
I'm not.
And you didn't. You wouldn't.
Holidays aren't that important to me.
Yeah.
But anyway,
they're important.
Either way, we ended up hanging out almost every day after that.
Yeah.
That was like a first day of many.
First day, I went home, I wrote my journal the next day or that night, I don't remember, and I had like written about Rory, and I was like, whoever marries him is going to be the luckiest girl in the world, because that guy is the coolest guy that I've ever met in my life. He's so fun. But I like knew in my head, like, he's very religious, I'm not, like, we just aren't.
She'd written that stuff in her journal because we did like each other, and obviously there was that connection, that charisma.
Yeah.
Our lifestyles and like directions.
Yeah, we're so opposite.
So
Rory was
opposite.
like, I'm looking for a wife and to start a family and to kind of just like settle into that kind of life. And I was just like,
I'm young.
what's going on tonight? Yeah, where's the party at? Yeah.
And so
it was very
and obviously through the course of our dating, we talked about it a lot. We were like, hey, like, we know this isn't going to be like a long-term thing. But anyway, so that is how Anna and I met. How we sparked the flame, which created MELLORLITE, which created National, which created my overwhelming dad aura that I've got all the time.
Don't know about that. If you like this video and want to hear more about like maybe how we went from being complete opposites, like not gonna happen, our futures don't align, to now thriving 5 years later, the baby, comment down below and we will do like a part 2, I guess. See you next week. This week. How many videos are we doing a week? One a week?
We gotta start with, if we do one every 2 weeks, one a week. And the final answer, one a week.
Okay, so see you next week. Subscribe, like, comment down below.
Hey, on no gang sign.